Hello, everyone. My name is Richard Lipovsky. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer and the Head of Solutions here at Minit. Together with me is Michal.
Hello, Michal Rosik. I'm the Chief Product Officer at Minit.
We are very excited to be here today, and we hope that you will soon share our excitement with us. And we have packed agenda, and as well as an audience around the world. We have hundreds of signups for this launch webinar, which is the very first one that we're doing, and we're very much looking forward to it. But without further ado, I would like to go into the agenda, what we have on the program today, and therefore I will start the screen share right now. All right, as I mentioned, we have a full agenda. First of all, we'll cover the process mining trends and where the process mining market is going. Second, we'll look at the challenge of process improvement. What is the crux of it? What are the main parts of it? Why is it so difficult to change organizations? And then third, we will go into how this evolution of our mindset and of our thinking around process mining has influenced the development of our product. Fourth, we will welcome our guest speaker from one of our leading customers who will be talking about how process mining is being used in the manufacturing use case. And then finally, we will have a Q&A session. So please, everybody is encouraged to put questions. We will try to answer as many as possible at the end. I assume we'll have like 5 to 10 minutes to go through those. For those questions that we do not have time to answer, we will try to do it afterwards, either per email or we'll contact the individual guests. All right, so let's get on to why you are here and why so many people have joined the audience today. The process mining market starts to boom. Gartner, and as well as other analyst organizations, agree that even though the market seems to be pretty small right now, it is already booming, and there are organizations joining from all the industries across the globe. So as you can see, by 2023, the market should be 1.4 billion, and that's only process analytics without all the other products that are interconnected with it. Now let's go into the challenge that has so much influenced our way of thinking about the product. First of all, process improvement is really difficult. Out of more than 3 years of experience now with customers, we see that process improvement as such is not only about the data, and it's not only about the people and the processes. It's really about identifying what is going on and understanding the reality. From the data, you can see a point of view that probably business people don't really have, the people in the trenches that are actually working within the process. But it's really important to have those two sides of the coin, let's say, interconnect and synchronize between each other. Then the next step is really understanding what those individual issues mean and seeing whether, even though it might be an issue from the business side, it doesn't actually bring the numbers behind it from the process mining view, and it might not be feasible to actually improve that or start an initiative on it. And that's why choosing the right initiative together with the business people is extremely important. For that, we see that our customers are building business cases that support the improvement of individual processes. And we see that this is, again, not something that can be only achieved by an expert analyst who is working with a process mining tool, nor can it be achieved only by a business person who works in that process. It must be cooperation hand in hand. And then finally, making the actual change happen. That is most probably the biggest obstacle that we have right now, because even though you have the data to prove it, it's all about the people. It's all about how you set up the change management program and initiative, and how you interconnect the people who actually can tell you whether you're improving based on the data and the people who are working within the process. So exactly this kind of thinking and this experience with both the analysts and the business users has brought us to rethink how our product should look like and how it should be worked with within an organization. And we always strive for a great experience. That's something that is at the core of our product, meaning that we want the users to actually enjoy working with the product. We do this by user friendliness. I dare say we have the most user friendly product out there right now. And we also focus on results. So even though we might not have as many features as some of our competitors in terms of number, we really try to do our best in terms of quality so that whatever you do, you focus on results and the tools are really powerful behind it. On the other hand, we're also focusing on the business end of things because we understand that this is an investment, and of course it's an investment that brings value, but we want there to be value very quickly, ideally within the 6 months of investing into the solution. The price performance ratio is also something that we always look at so that we make it affordable for our customers to actually scale. And we also, because of this great experience that we try to provide, we make the tech implementation as well as the onboarding as easy as it can get. So how it involved in terms of our analyst product, we understood that it's great for a deep dive into what your data is saying and what is actually happening in the process, in really understanding the complexity behind that. However, we also understood that in order to do this, you need to have a certain level of data analysis skills, which not all of the business users have. And that's why we came up with an answer from our end. And that brings us to Minit dashboards, our newest addition to our product portfolio, where we were long working on bringing together the process intelligence and the business intelligence worlds together so that the business users not only get involved in what is happening within their organization, but they become change agents, process improvement advocates, in order to meet their KPIs, ensure compliance, identify issues that are ongoing or one time, and understand their impact so that they can correct whatever it is going on. And it is my pleasure to announce the partnership of Minit and the leading business intelligence organization in the world, Qlik, in order to combine business and process intelligence into the most comprehensive package out there. And right now, I would like to introduce Przemek Zabudowski, our next speaker, who is the sales director of embedded analytics at Qlik for the Central European region, to tell us a little bit more about how Qlik is going to fit into the picture and what our customers will gain with this combination of both of the worlds of business intelligence and process intelligence. Przemek, welcome and take it away.
Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to be here. For the next few minutes, I will try to answer the question, why analytics? What's so important about it? Well, you know that everyone's talking about digital transformation and the opportunities that it brings to businesses all around the world. But at the center of successful digital transformation is the proper use of data. Only those organizations that leverage data as a strategic asset to better inform decisions along their transformation path, to find new value options, and to optimize all operational aspects, these will actually put themselves in a position to thrive and lead. So data is the foundation of the new economy. But data itself is actually useless, as what drives actions that ultimately transform the businesses are insights. And the bridge that connects data and insights is analytics, because analytics transforms data into insights. So whenever I have a chance to have a discussion on the value and the role of analytics in today's world, I like to cite this quote that comes from a report by a research company, consulting company called Eckerson Group. It's a report that was released last year. So what they are saying is, as we move from an information economy to an insights economy, analytics becomes paramount. And I think that's the best summary for what we will be discussing today. But if you think about it, analytics has gone a long way to get where it is now, actually. Analysts are saying that we are now kind of at the edge of going into third generation of BI. For those of you who are not familiar with the topic, I will quickly maybe just tell you what were the first two generations. So the first generation of BI was referred to as centralized. It was, based on very complex, heavy technology stacks, delivered mostly static reports, and was really accessible only to the, selected few. And then came the second generation of BI, which, guess what, is referred to as decentralized or data discovery. And actually, Click was one of the pioneers of second generation of BI. Second generation of BI allowed people to more freely explore data rather than simply view static reports. But second generation of BI or analytics is still a destination. It's a separate activity from your day-to-day business activities. So that still leaves room for improvement. So all this that we have seen so far is giving the rise to the third generation of analytics with three key shifts that are driving the change. That's how we see as Click this happening. So the first key shift is what we call democratization of data. So if you think about it, today, data is generated and stored in many different places. And it is crucial for analytics to be able to provide insights for all this data. Minit 4.0, powerful data extraction mechanism, and its process mining algorithm are now working hand in hand with Click's patented associative in-memory engine. That engine has a unique feature that we call the power of gray. What that gives the user is the ability to not only see data that is related to each other, and which is color coded in white, but also be able to automatically see all data that is unrelated to each other, which guess what is color coded in gray. That unique capability allows users to find unexpected insights that no other BI technology can provide. So that's the first key shift. The second key shift is augmented intelligence, where AI, which is such a popular term nowadays, and machine learning find and highlight new insights to everyday users, to increase their what we call data literacy and the level of trust. So Qlik's approach to AI is to combine the associative engine that I mentioned while presenting the first key shift with cognitive machine learning capability across all data that is being analyzed, not just subsets of this data. This powerful combination we refer to as AI squared. So with that, Minit 4.0 users get access to a number of capabilities, one of them being something we call the Insights Advisor. So what Insight Advisor does, it allows our users to understand or get suggestions on the best possible way to visualize a specific data set. So that actually allows them to reduce the time it takes to build new dashboards. Well, that would be nothing extraordinary. However, Insights Advisor learns the data characteristics based on existing analytical content, and by tracking the user feedback on its suggestions, all that to make sure the next time you use it, the suggestions are even more meaningful. And then the final key shift is embedded everywhere, where analytics is no longer a destination. It's a part of all decision making. That's why users of Minit 4.0 get insightful and actionable process mining analytics with a range of domain-specific visualizations like process map or waterfall chart. And all this, ladies and gentlemen, as part of their favorite process mining suite. And all this, ladies and gentlemen, purposefully built to enable you to better understand and in result improve your business performance. So having said that, and summarizing this little part that I had a chance to present, Qlik is very, very excited to be partnering with Minit to help customers on their digital transformation journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Przemek. It was very interesting. And yes, we got a question whether there were static slides. Unfortunately, there was something that went wrong, but right now the slides are back on, and we would like to continue with what business intelligence and process intelligence look like together. And therefore, I would like to invite Michal Rosig, our Chief Product Officer, to take away the demo and show all the capabilities that that Minit 4.0 brings.
Thank you, Richard. So let's have a look at Minit dashboards, and this is where Minit dashboards start in the Minit Dashboards Hub. Let's make it a bit bigger. So Minit Dashboards, as it was already said, is a let's say a separate product, which is of course fully and very closely integrated with Minit Enterprise solution and with the analyst features that we have in our analyst tool. You log in to Minit Dashboards with your Minit account. Either it is basic authentication or Windows authentication, so we are able to really fully integrate it into your enterprise infrastructure. You're using the same login information, and you can access Minit Dashboards basically from 2 points. The first one is this hub, where you see the overview of your dashboards, of your applications and streams. I will talk about this in a second. Or you can access it directly from the Minit Analyst client, where from the process view, you can just jump right into the dashboards that are created on that process view. Now, a little bit about the structure here. And on the left side, we are seeing something called streams. The paradigm of streams corresponds to the paradigm of projects in Minit Analyst. So for those of you who used the analyst solution, know that you can structure your processes into different projects based on the customers or departments or whatever structure you want to create. Anytime a dashboard is created for a certain process view in a project, a stream is created in Minit Dashboards. So we have different streams here with corresponding to the projects in Minit Analyst. Well, the tiles that you see for those individual streams are corresponding to the paradigm of process views. So again, in Minit Analyst, when you created a process, you imported the event log, you created your process, and then you found something interesting in your data, you could save the state of your analysis as a process view, an interactive process view. The process view, of course, has certain specifics like applied filters, and the data set might be changed based on those filters. And all these settings are basically transferred to Minit Dashboards to this so-called applications. So the tiles that we see here are applications. If we click on one of the applications, the application overview will open. And so the application corresponds to the process view and to the data set that is underlying this process view. On top of that, you can create multiple sheets. And the sheets, individual sheets, are the actual dashboards. So let's open one of the prepared dashboards, and as you can see, the dashboard is a combination of different visualizations. As Richard said, it is both the process intelligence world combined with the business intelligence world. And what enables us to create something like this is the technology that is used behind, and that's the Click associative engine. But of course, the associative engine is not just creating those visualizations, but it's the powerful computation power that we have underlying the Minit Dashboards, so that it allows us to make the dashboards very interactive, right? So you can, of course, make further filtering on the data set. You can make this so-called selections, just clicking into the individual visualizations, and all the other visualizations are just recalculating. You can combine it with the other filters, slicers. You can use it to focus really on what is important in the process, and it allows the business users, because the dashboards can be used on any device. It is a web interface that is responsive, so you can use it really on any device, anytime. Just open it and have an overview of your process, right? Here on the top, you can see the filters building up. You can, of course, get rid of some of the filters, get back to the other visualizations. But also the process map that you see here, the widget that is taking the process intelligence world into this solution, is fully interactive. So you get the details here for a specific activity, or you can just change the view to your favorite view as you are used to it in your Minit Analyst client. So you can see the bottlenecks right there. You can see the frequential analysis here. It will highlight the activities that are corresponding the data that is being selected by the filters. Of course, the financial view is present there. We are planning, and it is in our roadmap, we are planning to in a very fast way to include more and more of this process intelligence functionality and views on the processes into the Minit dashboards client. And of course, as you have been used from Minit analysts and from the process view paradigm, the process view was really a safe state of your analysis. So if something very interesting happens in that process, you can save it as a view. And the same thing you can do also here in Minit dashboards, and this is called bookmarks. So you can predefine certain selections and save it as your bookmarks and just return to this selection. So for example, just have a look at the data from March 2019 very easily by single-clicking the bookmark, or just go into a regional, how the process runs in Madrid, and you get more information from that, right? So, and as with process views, this is also a safe state. It's not an image. And you can work from this moment further, right? So you can make a different selection and continue your work, right? So this is how the presentation mode of Minit dashboards functions. And now, how difficult is it to actually create such a dashboard and to edit it? So for this demonstration, we have here a dashboard that is not completed yet, right? We have some visualizations there, but let's see at the editing mode. And to edit this dashboard, we just click the edit button. On the left side, we will have several toolboxes. The first one is the master items, where you can define your own set of dimensions, your own set of measures. These will be used then in the, and I will talk about this in a few seconds. This will be also used in the Insights Advisor, as Przemek mentioned. And of course, in the visualizations themselves, you can use any attribute from your event log as it was imported in Minit Analyst. In the charts toolbox, you see the different visualizations that are available right out of the box. I think it is a very comprehensive set of visualizations, but the power that the Click ecosystem gives us is also to use different extensions that are on the market. So to really move the solutions further and enrich that set further. In the custom objects, you have the process map, and you will in the future have more process intelligence widgets that we are specifically creating for Minit dashboards. And not only that, but as you see, the individual visualizations are just really like small widgets that allows us also to combine them with, let's say, other dashboards in a BI solution. So if you have a ClickSense installed in your enterprise and you are using that product, you can really create mashups and you can combine those different visualizations together, right? So let's finish up this this nice dashboard. Very simply, drag and drop the process map. It will automatically connect and take all the data. It will show you the process map. Let's resize it. On the right side, you have further customization criteria. So of course you can change like what is the dimension that we are showing here, the appearance, map settings. This is something that you might be used to from the Minit Analyst solution. This is something like the activity sliders, path sliders. You can change to social chart. All these customizations that when you open up the dashboard, it will just preload your favorite settings or the settings that you are interested in, right? Let's take another visualizations from the presets here. So let's take the histogram and put it there. And for some of the visualizations, you need to specify the dimension, the field or measure that will be shown here. And there are, again, multiple different options here on the right side that you can customize the different limits, your KPIs, coloring schemes, and so on. So here in this case, let's add a field. Let's look at the financial data, right? So I'll search for the amount. It's very easy, it's very simple. Let's go to the appearance here. Let's take the general settings, right? Histogram settings. The Minit dashboards try to really make the automation as much as possible, but in this case we want to go with less buckets here. So let's put 5 there. It will automatically resize that, and let's choose a different color in this case. You can of course set a title and different other options. Let's go with green. No. Yeah, I think purple will be fine. Purple will be fine. So we are happy with the dashboards right now. So the only thing we need to do is click done. And we are up there in the presentation mode. And again, in the fully interactive presentation mode. And we can just present this dashboard further. Now that was one way how to edit a dashboard and how to create the visualization. But we wanted to go one step further, and that's also the reason why we chose Click. And because the Click associative engine was not enough, and we wanted to have something more. And Click has this wonderful cognitive engine embedded as well. And we really are excited to have the Insights Advisor built into dashboards. So we go into Insights, and Insights really looks at the data that is underlying your application and your dashboards. And the easiest way how you can analyze the data is just click Generate Insights, and it will show you the visualizations that many dashboards with the Click cognitive engine think are the most interesting. And Przemek really mentioned this learning mechanism that the cognitive engine is looking at how you are using the insights and suggesting better and better results with every use. The suggested visualizations can be just added to any sheet that you have, or you can create a new sheet. You can have a more detailed look at the visualization and change some parameters there. But you can also guide the Insights Advisor. So using a nearly natural language, you can just ask the Insights Advisor what is important for you. For example, I'm interested in, let's say, a number of cases by supplier, right? And the Insights Advisor will just suggest only those visualizations which are of my interest. And of course, this is a simple example, but I can just delete this, and I can go with average event count, and I want it distributed by, yeah, let's say activity, and by resource. And it will again suggest me just those. So for example, here I have a nice table where I can see my human resources performing certain events and how often they are performing these events in this particular case. So, and again, the visualizations can be inserted very easily with one click into the existing sheets, and the sheets published and presented. Now, okay, so we have the dashboards right here. It's easy to edit them, but in some examples, in some situations, you need a different type of presentation. Something more like a PowerPoint. And for this, we have a storyboarding feature here. So you can create a storyboard with what you are basically used to from your PowerPoint or Keynote, putting images into it, putting text, designing your slideshow in a way you want. And if you play the slideshow, you just skip the slides, just like this, single visualizations embedded into that slide. or the full dashboards embedded into the slide. And as you can see from the loading of this particular slide, it is not just a picture. It is an interactive dashboard built right into your story. So you can use the same selections and filtering right in there in your presentation, and you can just go to, I don't know, a board of directors or to the process stakeholders and just present to them, reset the selection. So if there is any question occurring during the presentation, it's very easy to answer it in that moment, on the spot, and not just come back later and change the presentation. So even geographical data can be shown like this. And of course, this is exportable, so you can create a PowerPoint file out of it. You can export it to PDF without any problems. Yeah, so that was Minit Dashboard, or Minit 4.0 in a nutshell. Back to you, Richard.
Thank you very much, Michal. It was very, very interesting. I would like to thank you so much. And now we're coming to the most interesting part. And basically, let me just quickly share the screen here. So again, thank you, Michal, very much. And now we're coming to the most interesting part of today's session, and that's basically our customer case study. And I'm very excited to present and introduce the next speaker, who is Juha Biman from Stora Enso, one of our leading customers in the pulp and paper manufacturing industry. And I'm very glad that I can introduce him. And I am giving over the word. And Juha, please tell us how you're leveraging process mining and Minit within Stora Enso.
Hey, thank you, and thank you for the invitation. Hello all. My name is Juha Biman, and as mentioned, I'm leading the advanced analytics team in Stora Enso. Just a really quick recap on the business figures. So I think we are sort of a moderate-sized company that is doing quite well at the moment, and that really enables us to sort of push into this analytics area and sort of try to transform the whole company and digitize the way we work. Let me see if I can actually change these slides myself. I don't know, but let's try. Yeah, so of course we have our challenges like everyone else, especially in regards to this analytics and process intelligence and so forth. So of course, first things first, when you work with business, you need to have a really clear business problem, what you are about to solve. So this sort of an exploration model is perhaps not the best way to tackle the subject. The data is of course scattered. We have numerous ERP systems, so that's really key challenge that we had to tackle during this sort of project. Then of course the reluctance to trust the data. So we can mine as much as we want and sort of analyze as much as we want, but in the end the business needs to be able to trust the data and sort of stand behind the numbers, and tackling these issues are really crucial in organizational level, so that everyone knows where the data comes from and how it's collected and so forth. In regards to this process intelligence, process mining, process analytics, we have a huge deal of process variance. So I mean, we have dozens and dozens of mills, and in the end, it's basically so that each mill is doing the executing the process in their own way, and that creates a lot of variance for the process. I think it's really clear why do process mining, why to choose it. It really helps us to sort of increase the visibility, the transparency, and sort of communicate throughout the whole company that what is the sort of status and where are we with these processes. Are we wasting time? Are we wasting money? Are we doing something unoptimally or whatever else? But this is really crucial in creating this transparency. Then, of course, when you're starting with process mining, you of course need to choose the vendor, and what are basically our criteria. Everyone of course have their own, but we really like the sort of agile approach, meaning that this is not some sort of bloated, already existing company that we would work with, but instead this sort of agile, responsive team that sort of listens to what we say, is aware of you know, product development ideas and so forth. So that's definitely something that we like a lot. The tool itself, just as a comment from the business perspective, they are really adopting it quickly. The business users are really happy, and that's maybe the key driver for us in getting this sort of message to this, you know, adaptation rate higher. So when business likes something and when they adopt something, then you can sort of say to yourself that this is sort of a good position now, and this is a great place to build on. How companies like us buy something, when we start projects, we of course need to have return of investment calculations, and with mine it was really easy. We really like the numbers. The payback time that we estimated was really quick, and that's really essential in getting projects started. So that's something that we especially can comment that we liked. And in the end, of course, like I said, I mean, the Minit guys, they are you know, easy to work with. I mean, if we have a question, if we have a problem, they're available, they listen, I mean, if we have product improvement ideas, product development ideas, we have their ear, and that's something that we really value, because in 2019, you just have to accept that the product is never ready. We are never finished or never complete. So I definitely appreciate the mindset that we are in sort of agile mode and constantly developing, constantly learning, constantly adopting new things. All right, so the current status, how we started. We got into process mining, I'd say late last year. We did have a proof of concept project earlier, but you know, when we decided to sort of really push forward, it was late last year, and it's been really incredible to see this whole journey. It's what, 6-7 months that we've been able to sort of work with process analytics and process intelligence, and so far we have up to 35 analysts and business users. We are sort of seeing this incredible enthusiasm from business also to sort of participate in these workshops that we are doing, and they are really they are sort of basically the message from business is that we are opening the eyes in some regards in regards to the data. The processes that we are right now tackling are the really key processes for business of our size, meaning purchase to pay and order to cash. So pretty standard stuff. I'd say that maybe right now we are, or let's say early this year, we were in this sort of an analysis and exploration phase, that trying to just understand where we are, understand the whole capabilities of process mining, and sort of learn by doing. And now we are sort of approaching this monitoring and compliance side, that we feel that the experience is growing. We are able to execute cases faster. We are able to sort of anticipate what the business is after. So I really think that we've gone a great journey, and I really appreciate the sort of the position where we are now. Then the sort of real subject, meaning the dashboards. So as mentioned, we rely heavily on this business involvement and business buy-in. So this is really essential for that. So it's easy to communicate data to the business stakeholders. They're able to share it easily in their meetings, and you can basically configure it in any way you want, and that really helps us to help our business stakeholders to sort of get the full benefit from this, and that is of course what we are after. Tackling a really crucial business problem, and when you're able to do that just by using these dashboards, it's absolutely awesome. Like mentioned, the milestones. I think this whole thing is technically, Minit is really easy to start with. There's like few days of installation time or configuration time. So I think that was total non-issue with us. But I think that the real key here is that you still need to sort of learn and understand the sort of the concept of process mining. So you need to have this certain process analytics mindset that you need to adopt, and our team was seasoned analytics persons, but still they had to adopt a little bit of different approach. So I'm still really impressed by the way that how quickly we were able to sort of start to contribute on this. By the way, hey, I have to check. Can you hear me?
Yes, Juha, we can hear you very well.
All right, awesome, thank you. All right, so just basically the most important slide. So pinpointing areas to automate for RPA. That's one of the key results for using process intelligence and process analytics, and that's why you really need to work closely in close association with these RPA teams to get the max benefits, to understand which parts of the process you can really easily automate and start to get instant cost savings. Then, of course, this reduction of process variance and communicating the variance to different mills and different factories. So this is really essential in harmonizing processes. And once you start to harmonize, you of course start to gain instant benefits in cost and time savings. Then one really interesting topic is that when you are doing this process analytics, you start to be able to sort of analyze different customers, and when you combine that sort of understanding to the current customer classification models, I think it starts to be really interesting, and sort of you can revisit the way customers are classified, and could there be another way based on or complementing it using process intelligence or process mining data to sort of verify which are actually good customers and which are not.
Thank you very much, Juha. Thank you so much. It was very, very interesting, and we're very much thankful for all the work that we're doing also with you and with the team. I know exactly what you were saying in terms of having a strong data analytics team that still needed to take a bit of a different approach in terms of implementing process mining, but I think that you have mastered it very quickly within the team, and it was really interesting. But unfortunately, I think that we don't have too much time and we don't want to go over, so we only have 3 more minutes. So Juha, could you tell us a little bit about, in order to finalize the event itself, could you tell us a little bit about what is the biggest lesson learned out of implementing process mining in the last 6 months that you've been doing?
That's a good question. That's a really good question. So, what should I say? I mean, I would say that be agile. Start quickly with maybe a very narrow scope, and do not expect it to solve all your sort of process mining or process issues on day one. But learn by doing. Start narrow scope. Start agile. Start quickly. Then learn by doing.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for that. And maybe you mentioned that you have a number of ERP systems involved, or every mill has another ERP system. How are you tackling that challenge with actually getting data from all these different systems and then putting them into one log, or how is that tackled? If you can high levelly kind of answer this.
Yeah, so basically we do it in 2 ways. So we do this sort of ad hoc analysis, and we just take data extracts from ERP, or then the other approach that we are also doing is consolidating data into Azure. So both ways we are doing, depending on the size and scope of the task.
And that was done by your IT, by the internal guys, or do you have somebody who is outside of the organization?
It's internal work.
Internal work. Okay, amazing. I'd like to thank all of you guys. I would like to thank most of all Przemek and Juha that have been able to join the launch webinar. I would like to also thank very much Michal for giving you the demo. There are still a few questions that we have seen here in terms of pricing. There are a few more that we have received on the way. We want to answer them after the webinar, not to take your time. So we would like to thank you very much. And for anybody who wants to see the demo, who wants to take the trial and to try out what the solution looks like, and how you could possibly also use it with some specific processes, please reach out to us on our website. You can schedule a demo, you can get a trial, and play with it yourselves. And yes, thank you very much again, and have a great day.
Thank you. Have a great day.